Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. And welcome to another episode of Glass Half Full, a podcast and a safe platform where we talk with a variety of teachers, entrepreneurs, spiritualists, uplifters, givers, shakers, and serenaders. Everyone has a lesson to learn and a lesson to share. Let's use our life experiences to enrich someone's heart, mind, spirit, and soul. Through sharing our experiences, we can be a learning inspiration for one another. I'm your host, Chris Levens. Let's welcome today's guest. Today's guest is Bobe Downe. Bob is a resident of Japan from Australia. He's an educator, a creator, an entertainer, and comedian. Let's give a warm welcome to Bob. Good afternoon, good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon, Chris.
How are you today?
I'm doing pretty well. How about you?
I'm good. Thank you for taking some time out of your schedule to be here with us on
Not at
Glass
all.
Half Full. We're happy to have you.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
Yes. Well, let's jump right on in. The first question I like to ask all of my guests is that our lives are in spiritual design. Can you share your life layout or your blueprint with everyone, meaning how you grew up, your family lifestyle, where?
Oh, okay. So I was born in central Queensland in Australia, in a small town. My father is Australian and my mother is Japanese.
Okay.
Yeah, and I grew up. It's a very small town with two older sisters, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was an interesting experience growing up in that small town. I mean, my mother being Japanese, she probably was the only Japanese in the town.
Wow.
When first growing up. So as kids growing up, we were kind of noticed being a little bit different to everyone. My father, well, he's a Catholic, a Roman Catholic, and to give you an idea, he tried to influence my mother to become a Catholic, but she told me after attending church twice, she told him, if I have to join that church, we're getting a divorce. So, I mean, basically, because being the only Asian, she was just constantly stared at and the whispers behind hands, and she said she couldn't handle it. So he agreed. He said, yes, you don't have to go to church. So we didn't stop him from forcing the rest of us to go to church, which I did. I was even an altar boy, which is a shock to a lot of people. But I quickly, I kind of, because my mum's a Buddhist, my dad's a Catholic, it kind of, it was a little easy. Well, it gave me a kind of interpretation of religion and things. And I made me question religion because I live in a house with two religions. So when I got to my early teens, I just said to my father, I'm not going to church anymore. And he said, why not? And I said, well, she doesn't go. And he said, okay, then that's fine.
Wow, that was easy.
Yeah, that was easy. So, but that's given me that experience growing up. It helped. I learned a lot about racism as well, since we were kind of singled out a little. And I had a strong empathy to other minorities in the town that were also experienced racism. So, I mean, being half Japanese, being the only Japanese in the town, kind of it did help me appreciate how other people felt in different situations. And I'm not sure if I would have experienced that if I had not been half Japanese or half white. Um, so I'm glad that's happened to me because it's made me the person who I am today.
I know that's
And as much as trouble I had kind of growing up, and even getting into a lot of fights as well, it made me who I am today. Made me a lot more empathetic towards other people who have been ostracized or vilified by other people, and it's always made me think. I mean, we're all people. We're all living in the same place. Why are we making it so difficult to live with each other?
so true.
So yeah, I mean, the town I grew up in, it was a little can I say crappy? A little crappy town.
Hey, it's your town. You can.
Yeah, well, I wanted to use far worse language, but I know this is a very kind of radio.
Yeah, this is a season for family podcast.
Yeah. Well, those kids who've lived a little will know what words I want to use.
Exactly.
So good on you,
Use
kids.
your imagination here, people.
Yeah. So it's that's kind of my background, and as much as it might seem like it might have been a terrible place to kind of grow up in, I don't regret that, because that's kind of made me into who I am today. Because I know a lot of other kids that grew up in larger cities didn't experience as much racism that I had in a small town. And it helped me learn a lot about human beings, what human beings are like.
So
and,
true.
Helped me identify certain human beings growing up. So,
which is really important as well.
It is very important to know who you're talking to.
Yes, indeed.
That's right. Okay. Can I add anything more to that? Or
no, that's great. That's great. How have your strengths helped you to succeed in today?
Oh, my strengths. Well, let's see. So I'd say my strengths have helped me they've helped me get jobs. They've helped me make friends. They've helped me. They've helped me to perform. Mostly because I'd say one of my strengths is that I'm not afraid to talk to people. Even if I can identify what type of person they are, like even a nice person, I will approach them if I have to, and to do what I have to do, or even to help other people. And I'm not afraid to do that. So that in itself has helped me achieve little things throughout my life. So that's probably one of my biggest strengths. Plus, I also, as I explained, growing up in that small town, that experience also taught me that when I ever saw someone else in trouble, I always would try to step in to help them.
All right, now, yes.
If I see that they were being abused in some way or not feeling included, I would make an effort to make them feel included, or a way to bring people together, because I know that feeling that it's like to be left out. And so not everyone has the ability to get out of that shell.
It's true. It's hard. It can be really hard.
It can be really hard for some people, but fortunately, I'd say my strength is that it's not hard for me to do it. And I'm not saying I want to do it. Sometimes I don't want to do it, but I can do it. But there are people that don't have that ability, and I want to help those people. And I use that ability to try and bring people together, try to make everyone feel included. That's one thing I really don't like is people who are ignored.
I agree. I agree.
People who are sitting in a corner or sitting to the side just because of their personality. They're shy people. But I try to do my best to make them feel included, because I know how that feels.
It's true. Once you know that feeling, or you feel that you played that underdog, your eye is a little bit peeled to look out for that. And like
Yeah.
you say, that feeling you want to try to help because maybe somebody has helped you in the past as well. And Lord knows I've been in that position as a Black man in America.
Yeah.
It's more prevalent than, well, now the world knows. But yeah, it's a thing to feel that no one wants to be that person who's been picked on or pushed aside. So I like that your strengths are helping others to build their success as well, building up.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, as I said before, it's I don't know. I seem to have a strong sense of empathy.
Mm-hmm.
I can really sense and understand how someone's feeling in a certain situation. So if it's uncomfortable, I'll try to amend that the best way I can.
Mm-hmm.
And and most of the time it works out. And but sometimes some people don't want to be helped, and there's nothing you can do about that.
Amen on that. Got to let them be. We say,
That's
I can only
right.
bring you to the water. Can't force you to drink.
That's right.
Yes, yeah. Yes. So let me ask you, what are you most passionate about?
Oh, things I'm most passionate about. A decade ago that would have been different, but in a decade before that. But I'd probably say I'm passionate about knowledge, about learning certain things. So, and creating things. I'm
Nice.
a bit passionate about that as well. So, but knowledge mostly because once I learn a little bit of information about something, I want to learn more about it. I don't want to walk around knowing some information and thinking I know a lot.
All right.
When really I don't, because it's something it's a progression in life, and you could probably relate. I mean, as we grow up, when we're teenagers, we think we know everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then we get into our 20s, and then we know everything. And you get to your 30s, and you start questioning. You're like, oh, no, maybe I don't know everything.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get into your 40s, which I am now, and you just think, man, I know nothing. Absolutely nothing. So kind of mission, if I learn a little about a topic, I will try to research and read as much about that topic as I can from different sources, and not just Google, not just the internet, but try and learn from other people. And the thing about learning is that you can't learn anything if you don't listen.
Oh, speak on it now. Hey.
That's right. And some people say I talk a lot, and maybe I do, but when I want to learn something, I'll keep my mouth shut and listen, because you learn nothing by talking all the time,
Yes, it's true. So, being a good listener is very important.
Important. And that's the thing about learning and knowledge is something that will go on forever. I mean, I'm in my 40s and I know nothing. I mean, what happens in our 50s? Like, we start, I don't know,
really understanding the way of life, or starting to grasp it.
Probably start getting dementia by then.
Oh, Lord, no, not over here. Not over here.
We don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. My brain's just shriveling up into a little prune.
Well, I mean, information, I think it's great gathering information. And a lot of people don't know this about you, but you read the dictionary sometimes and search words and find out, lots of information. It's quite amazing. We'll say something and you'll be like, actually, da, 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 da. You'll just spit it off. So it is. It's great.
Well, a lot of it's kind of useless information, but I do read the dictionary, and that's because when I read books, sometimes I come across words I don't know. So of course I'll look them up, and then sometimes I still don't understand it, so I'll research that word. I want to know how to use that word. And
wow, that's great.
Use that word, because that's a pretty good word. But then you learn, and that's what happens when you start learning about one thing, then you start learning about other things, and it's endless. So
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
a web, a chain effect. It just starts going.
it is. I mean, I can't imagine how like geniuses who just know everything. But then again, they would never call themselves a genius if they knew everything.
That's true. That's true.
They
I just say fall under just being smart is good enough.
Yeah, well, yeah, being
Nobody wants to
smart
be
and
called dumb, right?
no, no one likes being called dumb, but I'll admit I'm a bit stupid. Uh, it, I'm not ashamed. I mean, that's the same with the ages. When you're a teenager, you didn't like being called stupid, and you try to be smart. In your 20s, trying to be smart. Yeah, but now in my 40s, yeah, people say no, you're wrong, you're stupid. Yeah, probably.
Well, sometimes we make stupid choices.
Oh yeah,
or we have dumb ideas.
I've got a myriad of bad choices. Let me tell you.
Right, that leads
And
in. So I get
yeah,
it. It's a web effect, definitely.
yeah, so many bad choices. And sometimes like a few in one day.
Now that is something, right? When you feel like you've made more than one or two bad choices in a day, it's time to sit down.
Yeah, something's going
It's
wrong.
time to sit down and have that cup of tea. Yeah.
Yeah, put that bottle down and start drinking water.
Throw your feet up. Sit down.
Yeah.
For yourself, since you do lots of things, do you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
Oh, this question, this is an amazing question. Myself, I kind of think I'm an introvert.
Okay.
But a lot of people will dispute that. Even my wife. My wife will say, "No, you're not an introvert," and I said, "Well, actually, I kind of am. I'm quite happy to sit at home alone than go out. I'm very, very content to stay at home, and I even friends that have asked me to come and join them somewhere. Not you, of course, but and and I get a text message and let's go meet up, and I'm thinking, oh, why? But I go and meet them. Oh, I haven't seen you for a long time. Yeah. Oh my God, you just no. You just think, oh, hang on a minute, Bob. You just said that to me the other day. Anyway,
Right.
but there are certain people I'm quite happy to go meet.
But do you enjoy the time once you're there?
Yeah, I kind of enjoy the time once I'm there, but I suppose it's kind of I'm a bit selective. If I haven't seen someone for a really long time, yes, but if I've met someone and then the next week they want to see me again and then again and again, I'm like, no, man, like that's 3 times this month. I can't do it.
Would you say 3 times is way too much for our friendship? Would you say we just
you're pushing it, and it's like, well, you're calling me up on Wednesday for lunch. I said, man, I just saw you on Sunday.
I mean,
unless you offer me a little bit more than lunch, I'm not going.
Oh my gosh.
But
I can understand.
But I do, as I said, I have ability to talk to people, and I can do it. I can be sociable, but at the end of the day, I'm quite happy to sit at home and be by myself.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, maybe you're like me. I'm an ambivert. I'm both. I'm introvert and extrovert. I love people, like them, but I need to be alone because that's when I can recharge. I can refill myself. I have my alone time. And then I'm able to give that energy out again. And, it's like a recycling point.
It's like a what do you call that? Ambivert.
It's an ambivert, ambivert.
Oh my! I know,
right?
I need to get the dictionary out on that.
Look it up.
I'm looking at it right now.
So I think that fits me as feeling that I'm both. I can
maybe
be enjoyable with people, and
yeah,
then time alone is always wonderful.
maybe that's me too. But I I actually I lean a bit more to introvert. Hey, I'm kind of like you think I would. I mean, my wife doesn't want to do it, but I'd be quite happy if I could to live on a log cabin on the top of a hill somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Yes,
Long as
actually, you would be happy about that. I do not think that she would enjoy that so much.
as long as I had electricity, internet, Netflix, I'd be fine. You know, and supply of alcohol and food. I'd be very content.
That sounds like one of these shelter movies, one of these The End of the World.
Oh yeah, that'd be me up top of the hill.
Just chilling.
That'd watching all those people down the bottom. No, you're not coming up here. You're gonna jam up the Wi-Fi.
Oh my gosh. Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Mhm.
How would you describe the most beautiful thing in the world?
Oh, the most beautiful thing. Well, I have to think of the most beautiful thing
Yeah,
in the
whatever
world.
you feel is the most beautiful thing in the world. And how would you
The most
describe that to
beautiful.
us?
This is the most beautiful thing in the world. Funny, cheeky, sometimes annoying, but sometimes very loving. Okay,
Okay.
I'm talking about daughter.
Okay, look, I was like, what? What?
I should have added that earlier on.
Well,
About
I
my
mean, you couldn't see my face, but I guess the silence was the question enough. I was like, okay, those are
most beautiful
description
thing.
words, but okay, so you're talking about your daughter.
Yeah, I forgot to. I should have mentioned that before. You know.
Oh, okay, go ahead, go ahead. Oh, that's
Oh yeah.
cute.
Well, as you know, yeah, I'm married and I have a daughter. So my wife is Jamaican,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and my daughter, she's 6 years old now, and so yeah, she's well. So my wife's Jamaican. I'm half Japanese, half Australian,
Mm-hmm.
with Irish roots.
All right now.
And also, I found out my wife actually has, I think she said, a grandmother who was half Chinese.
Oh, wow. Now that's a
So,
bag of Skittles for sure.
yeah, man. So my daughter's a Jamaican, Chinese, Australian, Irish, Japanese.
Yes, and
Wow.
she is gorgeous too.
She is so
She's so
cheeky,
cute.
man. She's so cheeky, but yeah, I'm a big softie on her, and I think she knows that, and she's always testing me. But she is, you know, I can't get mad at her, and that annoys Safia, my wife, a lot. That annoys her. That I'm not too stern, but I can't help it.
Yeah, I guess it's hard when they're cute and, it's hard to say no. Well, daddy and girls, it's that, I guess that way the same for mom and boys, can be as well.
Yeah, especially if you're the youngest boy in the family.
Yes.
And the only boy. Because I come from a family, I'm the only boy in the family. And yeah, I was always protected by my mum.
See, there it is.
There it is.
A little extra protection. That's so cute. That's a great answer. She would love that if she was old enough to listen, to understand. Well,
Yeah.
We'll save it until she's a little older. She can go back and listen.
Listen to that. And well, just think in 10 years, she'll be 16, man.
Oh, my gosh.
And yeah, there'll be a lot of swearing going on in the house, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
She'll hate our guts for some reason.
Well, everybody's not like that. She might fool you. She might be different.
You might, yeah.
She's a bag. She's got all that mixed blood. She might surprise you.
Yeah.
She might be different. You gotta wait and see. That little element of surprise.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Okay.
Can I ask you,
Sure.
what is something that people would be surprised to know about you?
Well, for one thing, people get surprised when I tell them I have a Japanese mother.
I guess they do. I guess they do, right?
They do. I mean, I was different. When I was a kid, I looked more Asian. And then I had brown eyes and dark hair as a kid. And as I grew up, my eyes became hazel and my hair went kind of brown and a little bit red. So my appearance from when I was a kid to now is completely different. So people are very shocked when they find out that my mother's Japanese. And another thing they're surprised at is when they find out that my daughter's mother, my wife, is Jamaican. They also...
I bet they do. That is quite a shocker, right?
Yeah, they do get shocked about that. And there's probably two big things that people get shocked about. I mean, even like Safia, my wife, I think we were going out for 6 months, and she didn't believe that my mother was Japanese. She didn't believe I was half Japanese.
Wow.
Had to show her pictures. I don't think until she actually met my mother that she was convinced.
And she's a lovely woman. Yeah, I mean, you don't look it. And with her standing side by side to you, you guys look like you could just be strangers.
Yeah, they probably think that when she's walked around with me in Japan, they probably think she's some old lady I'm doing a homestay with.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she's petite and small, and yeah. She's a sweetheart. Oh, that's great. Okay, and let me ask you, what do you want to achieve in life? What's most important to you at this point, now that you're in your 40s, looking towards the future?
I'm in my 40s? Oh.
That's what you said?
Yeah, all right.
I'm repeating what you said.
Damn. What do I want to achieve in life? I want to have a successful podcast.
All right now. Hey. You're already starting to work on that, being a guest. Look at you.
Yeah, look at that. So achievement is, something in creation and entertainment.
Okay.
You know, so actually since I've started, I started comedy, that has really been a big change in my life.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I've always felt I was a creator in some way. I had to create something. I just couldn't really find what it was. I tried music, I tried art, and I still get involved in those things, but I never felt more comfortable until I started doing comedy. It's something that I felt very comfortable doing, to stand up in front of people and talk and try to make them laugh. And it doesn't always go well, but I mean, that's something you learn from. But that never put me off from going back and doing it again. So and that taught me about entertainment, about confidence to try things. So for something that I want to achieve is just some success in entertainment. I mean, I don't want to be super famous, but something that could give me a decent salary that I could live comfortably. I mean, I don't want to live in a big mansion and earn millions. Of course, I want to earn millions of dollars. What am I talking about? But I'll be content with a small cabin on the hill with the internet,
on the mountain with Netflix and the internet.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the whole world
and supply of alcohol.
That's right. As long as I had that, and the whole world could be gone, as long as the internet's still going, I'll be fine.
Sweet Tooth. That sounds like the Netflix movie, Sweet Tooth. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Sweet.
So, I mean, ideally, you are funny now. Like, I've known you before you started the comedy, and you're just a hilarious person. You have such great stories to tell, and, they're always so alive and animated as they're being told. So I think you could do it totally. And you've done very well here, too, with doing comedy here in Tokyo, which has been really nice.
I think so. I mean, I mean, the pandemic has put a halt on that for the last year and a half or so. But up until then, considering that I'd only started it for 2 years, I think I was doing pretty well for in such a short space of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, a lot of thanks to our friend Paul, who is a comedian as well.
Yes, Buck.
Yeah, Buck. Buck, who introduced me to it, who encouraged me to go into it. I owe a lot to him. Because he saw something that I didn't have confidence in, so he put me up there, and you know, it went from there. But yeah, I do think that it's possible, but you know, I have to put the work in. It's not going to come to me. I have to go to it. So
You're right. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. Put those names in lights.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay, so my final question for you today is:
Sure.
Is your glass half empty or half full?
Oh, I'm looking at it right now. It's funny you should ask right then. It's half full, you know.
Okay, we're talking about for life, not your real glass, right?
Oh yeah, well actually, for both, it's half full. But that's the kind of attitude I look at life. I like to believe I'm an optimist. I like to believe that, but yeah, again, Safia would say different. I think she even said I'm a kind of closet pessimist.
I've never heard that one before. Okay.
Well, she said to me, you claim to be an optimist, but deep down you're a pessimist. And
wow.
I was, and really? And she said, yeah. She said, because you'll have all this optimism, and then you'll just, all this like pessimism will come out. And yeah, I never really noticed it, but maybe I am a closet pessimist.
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe. Oh, I should look up. Maybe there's a psychological word for that. What was that one? Ambivert. Okay, maybe there's an ambimist. I don't know.
There probably is. If not, if you can give a good definition, you can add it into the wiki.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, add it to Urban Dictionary.
Right.
So yeah, it's. I mean, maybe it's my glass is half full because I like to hope for something good, but maybe deep down, I think that it's you know, the worst could happen. So, but
That's reality.
But I like to believe in good. Well, hope. I'm a big believer of hope.
Yes, keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Yeah,
because we need hope. Without hope, well, what are we doing?
Any final thoughts for our listeners?
Final thoughts. Well, let's see. You know, I think it's important to try to understand everyone else's feelings. Be empathetic. Always. Something I've done this since I was very young is always try to put yourself in someone else's shoes.
Yes.
So you can understand how they're feeling. And if you can't understand how they're feeling, even if you try to put your shoes in there, try to learn why they are feeling that way, because only that way can we really all start to live together and live together in a way that we should, not split apart, not judging each other because of little tiny things that don't really matter. I mean, at the end of the day, there's just one rule, is just be good to each other. That's it. That's all you have to do. And if everyone could do that, it'd be a perfect place, wouldn't it?
It would be. Sounds like heaven. Heaven.
Sure. Yeah.
Can you tell everyone how they can reach you if they'd like to get in contact with you or find out more information about you? So, yeah, I'm on Instagram. If anyone wants to
check me out. Actually, I kind of have been away from social media since the pandemic started because all of my regular comedy shows are pretty much all closed down.
Mm-hmm.
But I will be checking out if anyone wants to look. So Instagram is BOBE_DOWNE. Okay, so you might read that as Bobe Downe, but it's pronounced Bobe Downe. And Twitter is at BOBEDOWNE. Okay, at Bobe Downe. And the Facebook is BOBE, that's one first word, and DOWNE, Bobe Downe.
And those are two separate words.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're two separate words. So I'm usually, most of my friends know me as Bob or Bobby, but in the comedy scene I go as Bobe. which is another long story which I don't have time to tell right now.
Yeah, we'll have you back on season 2. We'll have you back. We'll have you back for that. Yay! Thank you so much, Bob, for being here as a guest on Glass Half Full. We're so glad that you could be with us today.
No, thanks a lot, Chris. It's been a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, and I hope it's what you needed.
Oh, it was great. It was great. Thanks for the chat always.
Great.
Thank you so much. Take care.
You too, Chris.
Alrighty.
Bye.
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 And thank you to all the listeners for listening in to another episode of Glass Half Full, a safe platform for everyone to share their life experiences. Once again, I'm your host, Chris Levens. Please subscribe, follow, and rate this podcast for more learning experiences. Until next time, be blessed. See ya.